Welcome back, everyone. Down at the shop here, I want to do a quick update on a couple of things. The Bobcat here. Just realized I got a bucket full of loam I got to dump. It's been working out really well. You've pretty much seen everything I've done to it. Besides, I did do a little touching up. Just painted the arms that were super rusty and put some lettering on there. In the front, we got some new grip tape here. Just painted this up. I had this logo been sitting around for probably 2 years. I made for something else and I ended up not using it. And I'm like, where am I going to put this thing? So I just stuck it there. It's probably going to get wrecked quickly, but didn't really matter. I wanted to use it up. So stuck that on there. Painted this up a little bit, as well as this this panel here. Inside, I got some new boots. I still got to get a couple more rivets for that one right there, but I got some new boots for the handles and painted those panels down there while I had them out. You know, could use obviously some more touch up in here. The seat I'm probably going to stick with for a little while. I don't know. It is comfortable. It just looks horrible. And you know, it's a machine. It's a tool is what I should say. It's only going to do you know, it's going to do the same job no matter what it looks like. So I just want to make it somewhat presentable, and that's pretty much where it's at. You know, it's an old machine. There's no sense in putting a bunch of time into it. It's only going to be worth the same pretty much no matter what I do. And here's the other side. Got that painted up a little bit, you know, just to make it look somewhat decent. That's the new bucket I picked up. It's been working out really good. It's a 60-inch bucket, really nice. And I have been using the bucket that came with it over there, sitting up on the wall for loading mulch. It's exactly 1 yard, so it's nice to keep track of how much, you know, although I know how much I put in the truck just by what's in the truck. I have got a new muffler I have not installed yet. I'll probably make a video on that. As you can see, this one is just busted apart. This is just a panel that holds, that I guess houses the muffler. The muffler actually sits inside. This is part of the muffler here. You can see there's pretty much nothing left to it. So there's going to be some bolts that are going to be a pain to try to get off. I'm anticipating I'm going to need a grinder and cut them. But I haven't done much to this. Like I said, just been using it. A couple of jobs it's made me money on already. Everything seems to be good. I did change the oil on it. And, you know, all the hydro fluid as well. Got the new battery that's filthy because I blew a... Oh yeah, that was another thing. I blew a hose in another video. I replaced that. So yeah, I got probably only a couple $100 into it before the muffler. The muffler I think was $150, so $350 in parts, a little bit of time, and you know, I got a decent running machine. But anyways, the purpose of this video is to update on the racks, Green Touch racks. This backpack blower rack that I mounted kitty corner has been working out great. It is nice and strong because I bolted through the tubular. This is 1.5-inch tubular trailer. It's not the angle. So when you buy racks, the main reason for this video is when you buy racks from Green Touch, they give you these bolts here. Like these two came with each of the gas can racks. I just noticed you can tell the fading difference already. I put both of those on about the same time, and I'm thinking that maybe this is the newer version that they gave me and this is the older version that they gave me, because you can tell, I know that they had a problem with paint fade. You can see quite a bit of difference. I think I ended up getting this one was a discount. I think it was a scratch and dent sale or something like that, which is probably why it's the older model. And I don't know if all the newer ones have the green handles and the old one have the red, or that's just a coincidence. But anyways, the purpose of this video is they come with these bolts that will not work. As you see, it won't go all the way through the 1.5-inch tube. So you can't drill through the top and the bottom and put a bolt on. So they also give you self-tapping screws, which, let me pull this one off, because this is the worst one. Which, now when I put this on, I anticipated that it was going to be an issue, but I figured I'd just keep an eye on it. I ran 4 of the self-tapping screws that they give you right into the top of the 1.5 inch. And as you can see, it's basically loosened up. It has not come out, but obviously with 5 gallons of gas, I'm not chancing, you know, this thing falling off and bouncing down the road. So what I did is ran to the hardware store and I picked up in replacement of these 4. I'm going to use the nuts that came with them, and I got the same exact carriage bolts, except these are 3-inch length. I don't know what the length is on those. I'm assuming maybe 2-inch. These are 3-inch, which should be able to go through the bottom, and then as you can see, it will protrude, so I'll be able to put a nut on and tighten it up that way to prevent this from happening. So I got 4. I'm just going to do one here, and then this one has stayed tight even despite, pretty sure that's how I mounted this one. Yeah, despite the self-tapping screws I have in here, this one has managed to stay tight. However, I'm still going to replace those as well. And on the trimmer racks, you know, this is the second time this happened. See how this bolt is sticking out? This one's sticking out. I don't think I ever put this last one in, so there was only 2 here. I drove around for like 2 days after I first put these on, and then noticed on this side all 3 of these were sticking up like this, and I said to myself, geez, maybe I just forgot to tighten them up, because I know I was doing some modifications and like adjustments putting the trimmers on. So I tightened them back down. They seemed to snug up fine. And then in the meantime, a couple more days went by, and I looked back, and again they were all up like that. They seemed to work their way up just from the shaking. As you can see, it's no good there. So I was at the hardware store, and I was going to pick up some type of answer to mounting this besides these. Obviously, you know, these are the ones that they drill their own hole. And I figured for the trimmer rack this would have been fine, but it's not. So what I did want to do is kind of see the size and how I'm going to mount this. I may just put a bolt with a washer right through this here to mount it. A nice heavy duty bolt right in the center. And then I can leave these as well just to snug it up. But this one, same thing. I'm watching these things float around in the back of my mirror as I'm driving down the road. So keep that in mind if you have one of these style trailers with the 1.5 inch tube. Same thing here. I ended up using a couple of these self-tapping screws, and look at the, you can see how it just pulls right out of there. You know, now this may be a little thinner metal than some are, you know, the tubular, who knows. But regardless, these aren't sufficient for any use as far as I'm concerned. They're more of just for tightening it down to mock it up, to hold it in place until you put something more substantial. So I figured maybe they give you those for mounting to an enclosed trailer. Maybe that's why they include those, and you'd use these to screw into the wall, which I believe is the case. However, they don't include anything else. Even they don't include a smaller bolt like this with a nut that you could mount it, even if this was mounted to angle iron. They only give you these self-tappings like here. And as you can see, going into a thicker metal like this angle iron here, these are holding on just fine. So those are okay for that use, but if you're gonna connect it into this tube. So let me set you up on the camera here, and we'll drill a couple holes and get these things mounted right. Although now that I'm looking where I'm gonna have to drill through, looks like I'm gonna have to go through the fender and, okay, so maybe I'll go back to this hole right here so I can go through the fender. I'll have to put the bolt up under there, and then the other one back here. Either that or I move it. No, I don't really want to move it. I'm gonna keep it where it is. So let me get these out. We'll set you up and drill a couple holes and mount this the way it should be. think you can see, right? Yeah. My 3/8 drill bit ready to go here. See it sticking out there. Grab one of those nuts. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to put a washer under this, although this is going through the fender also, so it shouldn't be an issue. See if I can get that on there. And of course, all I brought was my impact gun, not realizing I'm not going to be able to reach under there. I don't think I have any tools back down to the shop here yet. All I have is a mess to deal with. I'm going to old school it with a pair of pliers. You can see the square part isn't quite going down into the trailer, and that's creating a little bit of a, if I tighten that up a little bit more, I'm sure it'll push down in there, but I'm going to see if I can grab a hammer and see if I can't pound that into the camera issues today. All right. Working old school today. Had no tools on it. Okay. Still not quite tight enough, but let's go ahead and mount the other one for now. That one's going to be a pain in the neck to get to also. Guess I should have pre-thought that. You guys got to be really bored if you're still watching this. Figure maybe it's of interest to somebody. Glad I got that 3/8 impact. Really makes this job quick. That's pretty tight. When I get back to where the wrenches are, I'll go ahead and snug those down a little bit more. Let's go ahead and take care of this one. I was just about to drill that and realized that's going to land right inside of that upright support, so I won't be able to get the nut on it. And I want to use one of these squares because, as you know, the carriage bolt is kind of retained by that. So what I think I'm going to do then, I made these 2 holes so I could have this out even, almost even with this one. Or at least trying to save myself some trailer space when I only had this one, and then this big bad boy came along and took it up anyway. So I'll take these other 2 screws out and we'll slide it over, and I'll do one here and one here. Always a work in progress, right? That one over for now. Come on. Okay, this one I think I can use my impact on. Yep. Boy, what a difference that made. All right, let me pull this one off. That looks straight to you? Close enough. See if I can sneak that gun in. No problem. Yeah, that's the way to go right there. That puppy is sturdy now. All right, this one's all done. Other than that, these racks have been great. It's really nice to be able to, the way I have it set up, somebody mentioned about having the trimmers on this side because you're out in the road. There's barely any main roads that I work off of. It's all small neighborhoods. And I like that the last thing I do before I get in the truck is put the trimmer back in the rack, and then I walk to the truck on this side. So it makes sense for me. I guess it doesn't matter how you look at it. I got to walk around to get when I get out of the truck, but then I'm getting the mower. I don't know. Either way, it seems to make sense to be over here. But this way, when I pull up to the gas pump, my truck fills on this side. All of this equipment, if I needed to top it off, which I wouldn't because you'd need to mix the gas first, but that's an option. The walker tank is right there, so I can fill that up, you know, all from this same pump, and then fill up both of these cans all on the same side. So as far as the arrangement so far, it's been awesome. I have no complaints. Like I said, this was the only thing, is these coming loose, and these I got to do something about this too. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Probably just the same thing, I guess, just a couple of through bolts. These can be probably 5/16. These ones are 3/8 16 thread, just so you know. Which, you know, is definitely big enough, but I'll probably do one of those carriage bolts. Wonder if the head, yeah, see, that head will overlap this just fine, although then I won't be able to hold it because it doesn't have the square to, okay, so I'll probably just get 3/8 bolt, same as those, the 3-inch, but with a head on it, not the carriage bolts, and then a washer. Drill a hole, put the 3/8 bolt, and then a lock nut on the bottom there, and the same thing here. And then I'll tighten these up just to help support it and stop it from wiggling side to side. And I think that'll be fine. Those will be all set. This here, I'll just grab a couple of 5/16 3-inch, a couple of lock nuts, do that. And this already has the carriage bolts that I had sitting around, so that's all set. The only other thing that I want to add to this trailer is a tool rack. They have that shovel rake holder. I don't know if I want to put it here or possibly over on this side, I think is where I might put it, just to kind of balance it out, and then that way I don't have to worry about the walker moving into it. The other thing I want to do is put a couple of 2x4s down on the deck here, just to hold the mower from bouncing around when we're driving around. So other than that, everything's working out pretty good, pretty happy with it. That's the update on the Bobcat. Looking pretty decent for a $2,600 machine. I've already done 4 jobs with it. As you can see, I got a new chain. Last Bobcat I had, I sold my chains and binders with it, unfortunately, so I had to buy some new ones. But anyways, that'll conclude this video. Thank you guys, all 1,000 of you that subscribed. Psyched I finally hit 1,000 after, I don't know, I've been on YouTube for 8 years. I think I've had a channel, but really just started putting up content in the last year. So I'm very thankful. Within a year's time I was able to get the attention of that many people, and hopefully there's something you're learning or something you're enjoying or laughing at or something in the content on my channel. Thanks again, guys. Have a good one. Little sneak peek of the next video I'm putting out. See if you can guess.